Hello friends, welcome to the next lecture. In this lecture we are going to learn about our next less known feature, which is D functions. Okay, so let's see what D function is. Guys, D stands for database. So D functions means database functions. Now what is database? Database is nothing but the collection of your rows and columns, or basically your database is your table in which all your relevant data is stored. So in database functions, D function uses a table as an input and performs the given operation on that or given calculation on that table. So basically D function is can replace two other functions if you use them properly, and if your data is stored accordingly, then you can use D functions in place of SUMIFs and VLOOKUP. Okay, so you can easily replace VLOOKUP and SUMIF or COUNTIF or AVERAGEIF or MINIF, MAXIF, all these if functions and VLOOKUP with D functions. So only D functions can perform the work of or duty of all these other functions, but provided your data is stored in same way, in required way. Okay, plus it can eliminate some of the limitations of SUMIF, COUNTIFs and VLOOKUP also. Okay, so we will see the difference between SUMIF, COUNTIF, AVERAGEIF and D functions first, and then we will, in our next example, we will see the difference between D functions and VLOOKUP. Okay, so let's start. For example, in this scenario, I have this data. I'll go to down. So around 234 rows are there, and I have 4 dimension columns and 2 fact columns, or 4 text columns and or 3 text columns or attribute columns and 2 figures, numbers. Okay, number of pieces and sales amount, and article code, category and store name are my fact columns or attribute columns. Now if I want to SUMIF, or I want to see the value of Bhopal store, the total sales for Bhopal store. So in our normal SUMIF case, what we do is equal to SUMIF. I'll use SUMIF S because we will be putting additional criteria also, like article or code and all. So SUMIF S, my sum range is my sales amount. Then my criteria range is store name, and my criteria is Bhopal. So I'm selecting this Bhopal from here. Okay, so this is the total of Bhopal store. I'll just reduce the number of decimals and show it in a comma style. So this is how SUMIF works. Then if, for example, I want to see the total of all the bags, article code bags, then what I will do is I'll just change this criteria range to article code and my criteria to bags. Okay, 39,871. But now this, up to this it is fine, SUMIF is working perfect. But what if I want to see the total of bags and belts, bags plus belts? So in SUMIF I cannot do like this. Again I'll select the article code, and this time I'll select belt. Okay, I'll select this and I'll just copy belts here. See, I cannot do this in SUMIFs. So in SUMIF, if I have to do this, I need to add another SUMIF. You agree with me, guys? You must have done this in your day-to-day work, those who are aware about the SUMIF. So here instead of I4, I5 belts. Okay, now this is the total of bags and belts. So you need to add another SUMIFs. To overcome this problem, you can use DSUM. So there are a lot of database functions. If you want to see all the list of database functions, you can just go to formulas, insert function, and not from here. You need to select the blank cell, insert function, and from the drop down list select database. So you have d average, d count a. So count and count a, count only counts numbers, and count a counts everything, numbers, text, errors, everything. Then d get, d max, d min, d product, d standard deviation, this is all statistical. Then d sum is there, our favorite. Then d variance, p means for population. So all these functions are available. Out of this we are going to see d sum, d average, and d count. All others are similar. D average, d count, and d sum are the basic ones. D max, d means, these are all same. They works in same way. And fourth we are going to see d get. Okay, so these four functions we are going to see now. So to replace this to replace this sum ifs with d function, what you need to do is, see, I'll just delete belts from here. Then equal to, now instead of sum ifs you type d sum, and then you need to select your database. So your database is this. So you select this database, then comma, then your field. So which field on which you want to apply sum function, which it is sales amount. Okay, so I'll select sales amount from here. You can type it also in double quotes, sales amount, then criteria. So my criteria is this, article code bags. Okay, this is my criteria. Then I'll close bracket and enter. So same 39871. If I say Control Z, so sum if was also giving me same 39871, and my d sum is also giving me 39871. But for sum if to work for bags plus belts, if I just add belts here, and now what I need to do is I need to just extend this my criteria, and see 89,400. This was the total of bags and belts. In sum if also gave us the same result, but in sum if we had to add another sum if plus for belts separately. Okay, but in d sum we can just extend our criteria, and as many entries as we need we can put here. Understood, students? So this is the benefit of using d sum. Okay, this is the benefit of using d sum. Okay guys, so if you extend your criteria from here to here, then it will add Bhopal also into your criteria, Bhopal store. Okay, but there is a rule for that. You cannot keep this blank. If there are two rows in your criteria, then you should fill something there, otherwise it will not give correct answer. Okay, so since your store name is same for both, you need to copy this Bhopal over here. So 8227 is your answer for the total of bags and belts in Bhopal. Understood, students? So this is how you can use d sum. The rule is you cannot keep the blank. If you keep blank, then it will show something else. It will show the wrong details. And secondly, the first row of your criteria range, this is your criteria range. See, G3 to I5 is your criteria range. So the first row of your criteria range must be exactly same as the field names in your database. Okay, students? And I will show you one more trick where you can simplify your work. You just select your data. So I have selected this data and then change the name of it. See, I have given it a name of data. Okay, you can just select the name box and give it a name data or anything, any name you want. Okay, so now this is a defined name. So if now I use d sum function, so in place of database I can just type data, which is this range, then my field is my sale amount, okay, and then my criteria is, this is my criteria. Here I can write category also, okay, and enter. So this is D sum. Now I can copy this sidewards, and I can just change this to here, and instead of D sum I can take D average. So this is my D average. So to calculate average I will just take Bhopal store only, so that it will give me the average sale of the Bhopal. So average of all the rows. So I will select all the rows of Bhopal, and if I check average on my status bar below, average 267,781, and my D average function is also giving me the same result, okay, D average. Understood, sir? D average, understood? Similarly we can count also, equal to D count, database is data, then field is, now since we are just counting the rows, you can select any field you can select, okay. So I am selecting this field, store name, and my criteria is again, say I'll just select these two. So I'll get all the lines or count of all the bags and belts in total database, okay, enter. There is a problem. Oh, okay. So student, I use D count here, and D count only counts numbers, and there are no numbers in our store name column. So instead of D count we need to use D count A, okay. See, total 44 entries are there. We can check, we can just filter this database and select bags and belts and count. See, 44, the count is 44, and our D count A function is also giving me 44. Okay friends, so this is how D functions will be used to your benefit. This is how you can use D functions. Now the third one is D get function, which we will see with the help of example number 2. Okay, let's see. Okay friends, so we will go to our next example now, example number 2. Here I am using same example which we used in array formulas. So here if I want to bring this data, site name, region, state, etc. as per the site code, if I use VLOOKUP, then I need to use the VLOOKUP in, I can use VLOOKUP in two different ways. One is in traditional way like this, 2, 0, then copy this here. Sorry, I didn't freeze the B column. Copy here then and change the column reference to 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay students, now you will say that you have option of, or you have a shortcut that I only told you during array formulas lecture, that we can use array formula here like this. Instead of 2 we can write all the numbers like this into curly bracket, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, curly bracket close, and Control Shift Enter. Okay, like this. Yes, this also you can do, but in this case, suppose this region column changes from here. Suppose I want to put region from here to here like this. So I cannot create I cannot add a row in between. Suppose I have used the array formula and then I try to add the row, insert a row, like I am pressing Control Shift plus. So it will show me an error. You can't change part of an array. Okay, I cannot move these fields. If suppose I want to take state first, then region, then I cannot do if I have used array formula. So all these limitations of VLOOKUPs we can eliminate or we can overcome by using the function dget. So here we can use dget. I am using dget now instead of VLOOKUP. Just pay attention, dget. So here again you need to select a database. So in this case, this is my database, my site code, site master F4. Then field. So field is my this field, site name is my field. Understood? Site name is my field. Then comma and criteria. Criteria is my site code. So I will select like this. Okay. Then I will freeze this criteria and enter. So and now I can copy and paste. Okay. Paste formulas. So everything is correct now. Okay, I use dget function. Now if I change the site code from here, it will change automatically. Understood? Okay. Now even if I change the column, suppose I want to insert a column here and I want to move this state from here to here, that I can do easily. See, okay, it did not stop me from doing that. It is still referring to its heading as a criteria, and easily I can get my details. So this is how you can use dget function. But the only problem with dget function is you can use it only once. Like if you had multiple rows here, say S1, S2, S3, then you cannot use dget function. Then you need to use VLOOKUP only. Okay, but if you have only one row, like in dashboards or in any presentation files where you want to show the only data for only one store, then you can easily use dget and it will save you some time. Okay, so this was all about D functions, D database functions. You can try it in your work, and if you get stuck anywhere, you can contact me and I will try to resolve your problem. And if you get to know some new use of these functions, then also you can share in the community, so that we can share that knowledge with all of us. Okay, so in next lecture we'll see another very good less known feature of advanced Excel. Till then, bye bye.